Quick, strike a pose. Wow, that's kawaii. Hello everyone and welcome. Today we will be doing a deep dive in the world of posing for photos in Japan. It's to no one's surprise that posing with a peace sign is extremely popular in Japan. Point a camera to a Japanese person and they will do it, like some sort of second nature. It's playful, fun, and nowadays pretty much part of Japanese identity. But why? Honestly, if you ask someone on the streets to explain this mannerism, they'll most likely not have an answer, or say that it's cute, so they do it. But every behavior has a beginning, and that's what I would like to discuss today. To explain why everyone is throwing their fingers in the air as soon as they see a camera today, we have to go back in time, back to the end of World War II. The Japanese peace sign has its roots in Europe, and it's a story that most of you probably already know. The sign was commonly used at the end of the war to signify victory over the Nazi regime, and got popularized by British Prime Minister Winston Churchill at the end of the war. However, what drew attention to the pose in Japan wasn't the V for victory, but the V for peace of the 60s, hence the name. When the United States were at war in Vietnam, the hippie culture wanted to put an end to it by lifting their fingers in the air in protest. But how did Japan get a whiff of this phenomenon? Well, in the year 1971, Inoue Jun, an actor and singer of the band The Spiders, traveled to the US for a commercial for Konica Minolta, at the time called only Konica. And during his stay there, he saw many displays of the anti-war movement and every local staff was doing the hand sign. So when the time for the photo shoot came, Jun struck the now iconic pose. The advertisement was a hit in Japan and people started copying it for pictures, thus starting the tradition. Now, I have a hard time giving all the credit to the tradition to this one story, as the peace sign was popular worldwide at the time, and in 1972, Hokkaido also held the Winter Olympics, which had more demonstrations of the hand sign being used, with American figure skater Janet Lin turning into an overnight celebrity in the country for her positive attitude. She fell during her presentation but kept smiling. This attitude captivated the Japanese watchers, which started imitating her signature peace sign. Now, one interesting aspect of this tradition is that when you ask older people what's the name of the peace sign, they still call it the V for victory, while younger generations seem to have no idea of this meaning. That being said, both usages are very common. The big difference is that when you're striking a victory pose, you extend one arm fully, while the common peace sign is kept close to the face. This pose is commonly seen in anime as well, once the protagonist defeats the big bad guy. Here are some examples of peace signs you might see in your daily life in Japan. First off, we have the original, the peace. Bringing your hand close to your face and pointing the fingers slightly to your head, trying to look as cute and non-threatening as possible. Double P, double the peace. One hand next to each one of your cheeks, with fingers stretched. Less common, but more intriguing signs include the Gyaru P, hands stretched very close to the camera and fingers pointing down. Very common with trendy girls, looks absolutely ridiculous when a man tries to imitate it. Peace Nekomimi, two peace signs pointing downward over your head looking like cat ears. Next, let's talk about some signs that can be a little bit awkward to look at if you are a foreigner. Japan has little to no regards to what is considered rude outside, so these signs might catch a tourist off guard when seen. Urapi, when you want to get in a fight with the Commonwealth. Palm facing inward, very common in Japan, especially with boys because it looks cool. Not at all ill-meaning. Agao-pi, when you hold your chin with a peace sign, usually with your fingers touching the edge of your lips. I'm not going to comment on this one. And lastly, here are some examples that are not peace signs. The V for victory, hands stretched and pointing slightly up, a confident pose to show you have overcome a challenge. Small finger heart, when you pinch your thumb and your index finger into a small heart. You're not even using the same finger, so I guess it's not a peace sign. I'll leave a link in the description to the article where these great images came from. It is in Japanese, but you should definitely take a look, as it features many other examples. You can infer a lot of emotion with just your fingers. For example, fingers fully stretched show an energetic attitude, while slightly bent fingers can show that the person is shy or not confident. With all that being said, it still doesn't really answer one of the most important questions. Why did the Japanese population get so in love with this mannerism even to this day? If you have a theory, feel free to explain it in the comments. As for me, I believe it's a simple case of just being an adorable pose that makes its user look friendly and approachable. Also, modern Japan runs on the rule of cute. The cuter something is, the broader the appeal. All in all, in this day and age, the peace sign is more than just a gesture. It's become a real staple of Japan's identity. And while people might not know the reason why they do it, one thing is guaranteed. Point a camera to a friend in Japan and they will show you not one, but two fingers. How about you? Do you have any other poses you see often or find intriguing? Share it in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching. Bye!